Thank you very much, guys. Great to be back in the timeshare industry. Normally they invite me back to apologize for my behavior from previous time. And I had a nice experience down in Malaga with you, talking about timesharing. My name is Dimitrios. I work in Bournemouth University. I'm the director of the etourism lab. And my area is primarily how technology is changing everything we do in the world. Now, I need to tell you that I know nothing about timeshare, or I didn't until probably 6 or 8 months ago. But I've got to declare that Dimitrios is an old friend, so for many, many years he has been trying to convince me, unsuccessfully, that I've got to invest in timeshare. So, never mind. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spend a little of time showing you where I think the world is going. And during the discussion time afterwards, we'll explore a little bit of timeshare issues and to see where this world is actually having anything to do with you. This is my university, Bournemouth University. The picture obviously is not from there, but we're doing fantastic degrees and research on those areas. They normally dress me like this, especially on occasions, official occasions. But my role is primarily to create knowledge. And we create knowledge by developing a whole range of new issues which are written on my books. Now, it's a fantastic opportunity to buy these books. Every time you buy a book, I buy a pint. So that's a fantastic way. I'm also the president of IFIT. IFIT is the International Federation of Information Technology for Travel and Tourism. And this is all the technology professionals, tourism and technology professionals around the world, doing a whole range of things. So I'll encourage you to have a look on these areas and come along to our conference that's going to take in Innsbruck next year. I'm not only academic, I also work in industry. I'm non-executive director for Aquis Hotels and Resorts in Greece. This is 14 properties we operate. We have about 10,000 beds capacity, and I'm the director of strategy and technology, non-executive director of strategy and technology. Back in '95, I was finishing my doctorate. It was a long journey, and I really wanted to finish my doctorate and perhaps go home or do something else. And then this thing, the internet came up, and the internet changed absolutely everything we do. And for a long, long period of time, we were totally lost. People didn't know what to do. They didn't know where we were going to go. And then, as if that was enough, social media came up. I need to do a little of manual work here. I'll go down there and play a little video so you can see what's happening in terms of the social media. Good. Let's go manual. world is changing. The world is changing really, really fast. Let's do some audience participation. How many of you are on Facebook? How many of you are not on Facebook? Okay, that's healthy. Normally, the audience I normally speak to, absolutely everybody's on Facebook. How many of you are on Twitter? Okay. How many people bought the newspaper this morning? Wow. Okay. How many people are watching television more than 3 hours a day? How many people were watching television more than 3 hours a day 10 years ago? Okay. Very good. Thank you. Obviously, you realize that you are a demographic that is not at the cutting edge with all those things. Having said that, kids from that age are now already using technology, and they can write their names, they can do all kinds of stuff from that age. And kids of that age are also engaging much more with technology because of the whole range of values that they're emerging through those things. And here's the paradox. The more technology that we have, and the more systems we have got, the more close we are with people who are far away from us, and then less close we are with the people that are next to us. It's very, very interesting. You can experience that at home, look at what the kids are doing. Again, the world connectivity is something that's really, really important because not everybody is connected, but obviously the northern part of Europe and the northern part of the Americas is very, very much connected. And again, the connectivity is primarily, and the internet is primarily a thing for the rich people. Yeah? It's Asia, Africa, Latin America, South America is still quite dark up there. So there's little connectivity, there's little happening. As far as the tourism industry is concerned, we are totally connected. We are using 2 or 3 machines at the same time. We are so much connected we cannot have a beer anymore. We're having applications that are coming with us on mobile phones that we carry with us all the time. And what's happening is that we are the last generation who are lost. We'll never be able to get lost again because we have a map immediately on our computer that says exactly where we are and what we need to do. Where's the next taxi is coming from? And what are the applications that we need to do? What are the things that we need to do? How can we engage with people around? In Bochum University, we're doing a whole range of research right now of what we call context-based services. Context-based services is I understand where I am, I understand why I'm there, I understand that the time is 2:15, you just had lunch, I understand that you need an energetic speaker to wake you up, yeah? And I understand that you really want me to get on so you can go to the spa next door very quickly, yeah? So we understand the context. Who would like to have a beer? Who would like to have a beer? Do you like Stella? Yeah? Increasingly, you'll be able to find Stella in such a wonderful way that you'll find the nearest Stella and also you'll interact with people. So where is the nearest Stella? Where am I now? Where is the nearest Stella? And augmented reality is building a whole range of new tools to actually interact with the environment. Not only I find where the nearest Stella is, but augmented reality shows real picture and it guides me with my mobile phone to get to the bar. I get to the bar, I have a Stella, I start interacting. I rate the bar, I take a picture of the bar, I upload to my Facebook, I upload to my Twitter, and I say to my friends, I'm on that bar now having a Stella. Would you like to come and join me? All kinds of integrated, all kinds of engaged. So having a beer down the pub with a mate is never the same again anymore. what's going to happen in the future is that we're going to have 2 or 3 machines. We'll have a pocket machine, we'll have an iPad or one of these tablets, we're going to have a computer, and we're going to have a whole range of applications around us. From connected cars, from e-books, from connected television, tablets, telemetry, digital signals, telepresence, and everything else. About 50 billion connected devices will be online by 2020. And what's happening is what we call user centricity. The user is going to be in the middle. It's going to be interconnected through a whole range of machines. The machines will be connecting through a whole range of different networks in order to fulfill several applications. So while you're in your office, you'll be able to order your groceries from Tesco's or whoever. This is going to be interconnected. You'll not have to pre-book the time 3 days in advance. What time am I going to be at home so they can bring me the groceries? But your car is going to say to Tesco's, I've just arrived at home, can you please deliver it in the next half an hour? So we are going to be using a whole range of devices through several networks, anywhere, anytime, any device. So everything will be interconnected. On the social web and the web 2, everybody is becoming a journalist. Everybody has got an opinion, everybody is shouting. There are 4 new blogs created every second, every day. And Facebook is creating a whole range of different opportunities to actually manage destinations and a wide range of opportunities to communicate with people around the world. People are uploading their pictures. They are showing their own preference and their own interpretation of a destination. Again, Twitter will be all about now, and will be about enabling everybody around the world to see what's happening now. Have you seen this picture?
Yeah.
Yeah. This became the picture of that event when that plane went into Hudson River. Why? Because the guy was there. He just got the picture now, and he uploaded, and everybody was really related to this relevance. One of the projects that we're doing in Government University is about the service of now. How do we pick up the signals from what customers are saying to actually fix the product now? How many of you are managing properties? How many of you are owners of properties? Let me see. Okay? If someone is complaining, what do? You try to fix the property. You try to fix whatever, the toilet, the telephone, whatever, the television was not working. Increasingly, people are not going to speak to you. They speak to the people that they speak. And they speak on them on social media. So increasingly, your reputation is not going to be managed by you, but it's going to be managed in a very, very broad way around the world. So everybody will know about this information. Who feels that their room in this hotel is cold? Is it only me? Okay. I checked in this hotel yesterday at about 6 o'clock. I must have made about 7 telephone calls so far to the reception to tell them the room is cold, that they keep switching off the central heating, that it's not acceptable.
It's your fault that our rooms are hot then.
We can exchange. We can exchange. Absolutely. The issue is, it's never going to be about others. It's going to be, if it's cold for you, cold for me, we need to personalize the product. We need to pick up the signal wherever the signal is. Now, the tourism industry is not very clever. The hospitality industry is even worse. Customers keep complaining, and we are just ignoring the customer. Absolutely ignore the customer. We're saying things like, normally, you have to get out of the room by 11:30 because I want to clean it. There must be much more clever ways of doing this. There are. But we are stuck in the 70s. We really need to move forward to a new kind of environment where we interact with the consumers. One of the things that happened in the hotel in Cyprus that I'm involved with was one of Paul McCartney was there, incognito. And he was he was in the hotel for about a month. And one day he got a little bit more to drink, and he went to the patio, and there was a band that was playing music. And they saw him and they went, so he said, can I join you guys? So he grabbed a guitar, started playing, and someone took a picture. And he said, bloody amazing, Paul McCartney, live on a private party in Anasac Hotel in Cyprus. Now, he went to Twitter. Everybody who was scanning Paul McCartney immediately knew that he was there. What happened is that because the hotel is doing a whole range of innovations, they picked up immediately the signal. They went through the PR agency that they work, they deleted the comment from Twitter. Very, very interesting. What's happening is that in the old bad time, we used to be able to hide a lot of things. Now, the first thing I'll do when I go home is write on TripAdvisor, don't go to this hotel unless you'd like to have pneumonia. And I'll say the manager switches off central heating every day. I left home, nice, warm, and cozy, to come to a hotel that's really cold. I'm sorry, but that's my experience. And everybody will know, TripAdvisor will know, my friends on Facebook will know, and I've got more than 3,000 friends, and my friends on Twitter will know. Great. The wedding. A lot of people were watching the wedding on the television. I was watching the wedding on television, but also on Twitter. It's very interesting what happened. In the 3-hour ceremony, there are 3 million tweets. There was 250 tweets per second. Some people will say sad, but that's a new way of communicating. That's the way that a lot of people around the world, they were discussing things as they were happening. I think 40% of the comments were about people, but never mind. So a lot of those things were happening, and a lot of things are engaging customers. We're engaging customers immediately, and we're engaging in this conversation around a whole range of different kinds of media, from things like Flickr, things like Trip, things like LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and everything. And it's becoming really, really challenging to manage the brand and understand what is the brand reputation online and how to keep up discussing and engaging with our customers wherever the conversation is happening. And this is most of the international companies that are dealing with tourism and hospitality are primarily looking into how to manage that. And we're developing tools, not only for monitoring what's happening, but also redesigning the product dynamically and engaging the customer to personalize the product now. Social media is changing absolutely everything we do, and a lot of those things are happening around the world. KLM is one of the most amazing companies as far as social media is concerned, and I think gave it an award for doing a fantastic job with it. One of the things that they've done is they've made a commitment that KLM answers every tweet and post in person within 1 hour, day or night. That's a huge commitment. So KLM is managing, is training every single manager to be able to go on Twitter and reply immediately on what's happening. And to launch that, they did a fantastic campaign where they had they had about 200 employees in the country in the Schiphol airport coming out and doing a funny way of replying and showing people what was happening. Hello, Rohan, depending on the departure time, we use both B737, 700 and 800, as well as a Fokker 70 between Heathrow and Amsterdam. Someone was asking what kind of equipment flies between Amsterdam and Heathrow. Hello, Rico. Your mom says hello and would like to sing happy birthday to you. Then they put down the placards and they start singing happy birthday. You can see all those videos on YouTube. The one I'm really enjoying most is what they call the self-shut down or the KLM surprise. And that's an experiment they did last year. And that experiment was primarily enabling people, enabling them to surprise people just before they were flying.
First job, find KLM passengers who had checked into their flight via one of KLM's Foursquare locations or left a message through Twitter. Second job, search their social to know them in a discreet manner, to think of a personalized gift. Nothing fancy like a house or a sports car, just small stuff, carry-on size stuff. Third job, hunt them down and deliver the gift. Fourth job, repeat steps 1 and 2 until either success is achieved, boredom sets in, or blisters need to be treated.
En het weekend Rome gaan doen. Kijk, is het misschien leuk als we haar een 9 plus bandje geven. Dat denk je dan niet nodig. Lina, kom.
Ik zou zeggen dat het er is, want ik krijg net een bericht, denk ik. Hoorde haar kamers.
Goedemiddag. En je liet ons weten, via Twitter, dat je met ons reist vandaag. Ja. Dus we hebben een kleinigheidje voor je gekocht. Nou, leuk. En je, een hele fijn weekend is het geloof ik, hè? Ja, weekend. Klein weekend wensen. En omdat je sportief bent kun je daar de afstand meten en hoe lang je over doet. Gelukkig heb je je gevonden. Hoi. Hoi. Kun je het laten weten dat je met ons vliegt vandaag naar Washington?
Ja, dat klopt.
Who is talking about them?
Mexico?
Who is this person? What preference have they got? What kind of trip do they have? What kind of context have they got? Where do they go? Which flight they're going in? And a little present for them to take away. They find them in Schiphol Airport, they deliver it, and they kiss them goodbye. In less than an hour. If this is an achievement, I don't know what it is. And this is the kind of service that the tourism industry will be coming forward in the future. Identifying how the passenger, how the customer would like to engage and provide a whole range of personalized kind of experience for them. So by doing that, they created a whole range of atmosphere and they created a whole range of publicity that they would have never bought, and they gave people a memorable experience. Ultimately, in tourism, we're trying to create memorable experiences, and we are trying to enable people to feel something different. Because let's face it, what we're doing in the 70s and the 80s, people were going to Spain or Greece or wherever, and that was exciting enough. Increasingly, you've done it 20 times, 30 times, 40 times. And now you're trying to find what is new, how we can take things forward. I think when we start looking at the future, we start looking about augmented reality and how social media and real life interaction is going to take forward a lot of those things. What we're going to see is our machines are going to be able to tell us not only what's happening in reality, but they're going to tell us a whole range of information additionally that's going to be supplied on top. This is from the TripAdvisor augmented reality application, where you see this is real life, the taxis are moving, and this is information about the restaurants nearby, where they are, what's their rating, reviews, and a whole range of other things, like maps, how do I get there. Increasingly, we'll be able to interact with all this information dynamically, and we'll be able to engage. Increasingly, we'll know everything about everybody. So privacy is becoming a major issue, and a major issue of the past. Increasingly, all the information that people are putting online is going to be available for everybody on display. And we will be able to engage in that kind of conversation in an offline and online way. I don't know what the future is going to look like, and a lot of people are asking me to predict that. And I know at some stage we're going to drive this kind of cars. But a lot of those things are changing dramatically everything we do. And those people who have got vision and understand where technology is taking us will have the opportunity to take things forward and engage, do better sales, discuss with their customers, and fulfill their needs better. I'd like to stop here and thank you for this, and I'd like to open the floor for discussion because that's, I understand, what we really want to do.
Hi, Harry Taylor from Royal Sunset Beach Club. Just to let you know that we've got some good people in here, although they might not all be tweeting, but since we started at 9 o'clock, we've had over 51 tweets from this room. So thank you very much. It's on the internet.
Fantastic. So, I mean, as an industry, you really want to engage people around the world with what's happening. And obviously, those people who are tweeting and those people who are taking your message out will be able to engage in that kind of conversation.
Have you got any other questions? Come on,
Yes,
guys,
why
what's
would
that?
anybody want to tweet when they realise ultimately they're giving away all the secrets? Downright fools, in my opinion.
Get back to the dinosaurs.
Well, we are going to an age of transparency. There'll be no secrets.
There should be.
There'll be no secrets. Let's get into terms with that.
That's your opinion, fine.
That's fine. What's happening is, if you see what's happening in Egypt, in Tunisia, and in Syria right now, you see a lot of these conversations are happening in public. And a lot of these movements are happening in public. And it's happening because people have got the ultimate democracy where they can discuss absolutely everything everywhere. I think in reality what's happening in the future is that we'll know an awfully lot of things about everything. Whether it's the right information or not, and whether the information is qualified is another matter. But what's happening also through research, what we find is that increasingly users understand what's the credibility of sources. So if a blog is saying something to me, I'm looking immediately what's the credibility of that source. And be prepared, and especially your industry had a whole range of issues that was trying to put out of the country. That's gone. If you go on YouTube, there are videos about fantastic stories with time sharing, and there are videos with horror stories with time sharing. And it's people like you who have actually put them out. And if you'd like to take the industry forward, you need to find out how you can communicate with all these people using all these technologies that are available. In fact, they are for free.
The same technology could put up misinformation just as easily as it can put up real, genuine information.
Absolutely.
And who would know how to differentiate? That's
It's
a major weakness in it.
It's like a car. A car can take you from Bournemouth to this wonderful place to meet you, or it can kill you half the way because you're not handling it the same way. Information and technology is a tool. If you know how to use the tool, and a lot of people are learning how to use the tool, it can do wonderful things. If you do not use the tool in the right way, it can kill you.
Professor Adam Johnson from Club Las Calas. Thank you for a very interesting insight. The issue for me is that many of the people who use Twitter, Facebook and other social media sites and sites such as TripAdvisor hide behind online identities. That gives them the opportunity to be extremely negative, even vindictive, without comeback. And I am aware that there are certain unscrupulous destinations who are on TripAdvisor who post untrue reports about other competitor destinations, and such reports rapidly gain credence. Would you care to comment, and in particular to offer any advice that you can on how one can overcome such black propaganda?
Absolutely. There are 3 or 4 things in what you're saying, Adam. The first thing is that people are anonymous. And up to a point, they are. But when you start looking behind, and when you start looking who is behind the Twitter account, or behind a Facebook account, quite often you find a lot of information about them. So quite often they're not as anonymous as immediately we think they are. But I take your point that there are some malicious people out there who would like to do damage one way or another. So the first thing is anonymity. Yes, there's an anonymity up to a point, but quite often actually it's not anonymous. Second thing is negativity. In fact, most of the TripAdvisor reports are positive. What I'm saying to my students and to my clients is when you're going somewhere, you'll have to say a story. You'll come back and you'll say a story. I came to this hotel yesterday, I look at the website, I said it's a fantastic hotel, let's go and have some fun, I'll see some friends, I'll have a nice beer. When I go back, the first thing that's going to happen on Monday, people are going to ask me, where do you go? I went to this hotel, how was it? Nice bar, very cold room. Simple, yeah? So people will have something to say. Whether it's negative or positive is something what we create. Do we create a positive experience? I'm actually working with a hotel in Cyprus right now, and we're developing a whole range of initiatives, so we can give good stories to people to show back. One of the initiatives is we're going to bring a donkey up. Why? Because kids from England do not see donkeys. They'll have a donkey ride, and what the parents are going to do? They're going to take a picture. What are they going to do then? They're going to put it on Facebook. What is the dog is going to wear? A big hat with the word Aliathon Village Hotel. Yeah? So we create the good stories for people to take away. Now, back to your point, if it's malicious, we attack back. And the community actually, the online community, is attacking back. I had a situation in a hotel in Athens, which was attacked consistently by an individual. And the TripAdvisor community started asking the individual questions. Have you stayed in this hotel? Why do you say this? And we discussed with the owner, and we came back to the strategy of taking the online reputation forward. So, back to your question. Number one, anonymity is not always such. Number two, quite often there are a lot of positive comments. Number three, if there are negative comments which are true, my cold hotel room, do something about it. And don't get me to write on Facebook, Twitter, TripAdvisor, sort it out now. I call you 6 times. What else do you expect me to do? If it's something negative, we need to address ourselves. If it's something negative that is false, we also need to take it on and go back there and say, hold on a second. This is lie, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is lie, this is wrong. The correct factual information is that. Here's the video, here's the photo, here's the testimonials to actually correct the impression. I had a situation in Aquis. This is a comment that's coming quite often, and that's why I'm giving a little bit more time on this. I had a situation in Aquis hotels where one member of staff, an employee on a contract, decided to attack one of our hotels. And what he did, he was going around finding negative reviews for other hotels and posting them on us. The only problem was that he made a few mistakes, editorial mistakes. He was mentioning things that we didn't have. The beach bar is closed. We don't have a beach bar. The spa treatment was not there. We didn't have a spa. So we started looking into where these reviews were coming from. And of course, we created all the document. We went back to TripAdvisor and said, guys, we are attacked here by this guy. We don't know who he is and why he's doing this. But can you please take all the reviews out? And because we gave them all the evidence, they did. So there are techniques. We call it online brand management. And there are techniques that we're developing. Talk to me afterwards if you like, where we are addressing these things. Thank you. It's like, I mean, it's a new thing. It's like the telephone. You remember 20 years ago, people would call you and put the phone down? It's that kind of stupidity. It goes with, in the beginning.
Are there any other questions? Lisa. Mic is coming.
Can you talk a little bit about, you show the Stella app for the Facebook. I've been on Facebook for years. It's been my experience that everything that on my personal Facebook, anything that I like on my personal Facebook, I have liked way before Facebook. I personally have never clicked on a Facebook ad. So I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit about using the Stella example. Are most of their followers already Stella devotees? How much are they really getting new people? Because, for instance, I like Mazda Miatas on my Facebook page. I've owned Mazda Miatas before Facebook became, Facebook. So I'm curious to find out, are people liking things more on Facebook that they're learning through Facebook, or that they've already been fans of before?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. By the way, the Stella advertisement, the Stella thing is augmented reality application for your iPhone. So nothing to do with Facebook. It's on iPhone, so you can download and use it. Now, your question is primarily about what is the influence of Facebook advertising and Facebook activity on your preference. And then the next thing is the conversion. This is what we are researching currently. I mean, a lot of those things are cutting edge. We're researching right now in the etourism lab. There are people who are very loyal to particular brands and experiences. And you've always liked a brand, and you'll always buy that brand. You'll always like Stella, and you'll always drink Stella. Great. In that occasion, Facebook and online advertising will reinforce the brand. So it will make you more loyal. It will make you, from buying 6 beers per week, to buy 10 beers a week. Because when you're doing something else, and a Stella advertisement will kind of say, hey, I haven't had a beer for a while, let me have one. There are a lot of other people who are, you may like Stella, or you may like Heineken, you may like something else. But because all of a sudden you see Stella, something triggers and say, can I have a Stella? And there will be people who will always have Heineken. And they see Stella, and perhaps they are annoyed and say, that's not for me. What is very interesting as far as marketing on Facebook is concerned, is that Facebook knows you very, very well. It knows you better than your partner, better than your mother, because it knows what kind of music you are declaring. Actually, it knows what you're doing. Yeah? So it knows what kind of music you say that you like. It knows what kind of pictures you open. It knows which profile you are looking at. It knows who is looking at your profile. It knows where you live, where you travel, where you do. It knows awful lot of information. It knows who are the 3 people that you are really interested in, and you are looking at their profile every 20 minutes. It's spooky, guys. It's really, really interesting. My mother has no idea what I do. My Facebook account does know exactly what I do. It has got all the messages there. It has got all the people who are interacting with me. It has got where I am, my location. My mother can believe anything. I can tell her that I'm in London and I'm in Manchester. Yeah? So it becomes so much targeted. So the advertising that we're going to see on Facebook will be so much targeted that it's going to be very, very effective, and it's going to have huge conversion rates in comparison to what we were doing before. So it will not change your taste. It may influence your taste, but it will reinforce your taste, and also it will take you to one step forward.
Is there any more questions? If there's not,
Receive, I could like, I don't know, dogs. I receive an email from a dog company. What's that response to a dog? Is that the reason why
yes.
we receive all these emails?
It is, because what it does, I'm not sure if they do it on email, or you may subscribe to something else, but what you do is at least everything that you see on the sponsored links on the right-hand side, it's very much related to your profile and to your activity, what you do. So if you are looking to the Association of Dog Owners or whatever, immediately they understand that you're into dogs. Immediately they're going to give you dog food. immediately they're going to do. So it's all kind of personalization to an extreme.
Dimitrios, if there's no more questions, can I thank you very much indeed for our massive information, which I think is on